Yes, James Donkey, a relative unknown in the world of keyboards. Known more for some questionable gaming mice than it is for gaming keyboards. Despite this, we were pretty excited to test out the RS2. The retro styling is something we haven't seen a lot of recently, and hot swap switches are always fun. So let's see what James has to offer. Amusing name aside, this keyboard promises a lot. Not only is it a full-size hot swap board, but it utilizes a gasket-mounted design too. And we haven't seen a lot of those roll through the WPC office. So, let's see how James Stallion fares. What's in the box and setup? Most small brand wireless mechanical keyboards are usually limited to Bluetooth, which is perfectly functional but tends to be a little annoying to use on a PC. This is because not a lot of PC have Bluetooth built in, usually necessitating a Bluetooth USB dongle or a PCIe extension, so it's always been a pet peeve of ours. So you can imagine our delight when we saw a good old-fashioned 2.4 GHz dongle in the box, meaning that we didn't have to mess around with pairing a new device. Aside from the excitement at the sight of a dongle, the unboxing experience was very good. Especially when you remember this board cost less than $100. The James Donkey RS2 came in a trendy white box, with a sort of lithograph-looking shiny outline of the keyboard on the front, with some of the features listed around the sides, and a fully annotated image on the reverse. Design. This is where a lot of the interest for this specific board will come from, as it has a fairly unique design that marries a retro colorway with modern keyboard features. It's difficult to describe, but the visuals of the James Donkey RS2 are sort of off-retro. This means that there are a couple of subtle differences that set it apart from the regular IBM Model M keyboard knockoff. The brown accent keys and sort of brown/gray legends on the lighter keycaps gave this keyboard a coffee-esque overall color scheme that we love. Though some might say that we're beyond retro, we find it hard to agree when we look at this board. Another thing that keeps the James Donkey RS2 looking classic is the 100% full-size layout. While we generally prefer small form-factor keyboards here at WPC, they don't look right in an old-school retro color scheme. There are other hints of modernity here too. The volume wheel above the numpad has a silver knurled border that feels satisfyingly tactile, and the on/off switch and USB Type-C port on the back of the keyboard hidden around the back also help bring this board into the 21st century. Build quality. This keyboard feels good in the hands. Very good in fact, especially when you remember the $100 price. However, it is not without a few issues. Luckily none affect the user experience, though they might be cause for concern in the long run. We suspect this is a result of pushing hard enough to max out compression of the gasket, which then makes the PCB itself flat. Luckily, this isn't detectable during normal use. Moving to the keyboard nerd stuff, we have double-shot PBT by default, making for robust and long-lasting keycaps. This is particularly nice to see for a keyboard like this, where a specific aesthetic is much of the reason for purchase, meaning that it might be tricky to retain the look with aftermarket replacements. Speaking of which, our friends over at Mech Keys will sort you out with replacements if you're in need. Typing and gaming performance. Here's where the James Donkey RS2 truly hits its stride, as it's one of the best mechanical keyboards we've tested. Tied for first place with the fantastic Mountain Everest 60. We were provided with Gateron Brown switches in our sample, but you can get the RS2 with Gateron Reds, or no switches at all, as this keyboard is compatible with 3 or 5-pin cherry-style switches. In the process of swapping a key switch out, you'll notice the gasket on which the switches are mounted. This is a massive contributor to the feel and sound of the James Donkey RS2. We'll start with tactility. This might vary depending on your switch choice, but the experience of a Gateron Brown switch combined with a gasket mount is unlike anything else, with 2 distinct tactile points, the second being a far softer bottom mount than you'd otherwise have. Thank you everyone for watching us till the end. It would be a great pleasure for us if you are a little helped with this video. Comment us below.